أشهد
أشهد
أن لا
أن
أن لا
أن لا
أن لا
أن لا
إله
إله
إلا
إلا
الله
الله
وأشهد
وأشهد
أن
أن
محمدا
محمدا
عبده
عبده
ورسوله.
ورسوله.
The number of Muslims in the UK has increased by 44% over the past 10 years. This data was obtained from the population census conducted by the Office for National Statistics (ONS) in the UK from 2011 to 2021. The ONS census is conducted every 10 years and is based on a series of questions for all residents of the United Kingdom. For the religion question, it is voluntary and only for those who wish to respond. Although still a minority compared to the total population, the Muslim population has seen a significant increase. By 2021, there was an increase of 1.2 million people over 10 years, bringing the total number of Muslims in the United Kingdom. As reported by Arab News, the percentage of Muslims in England and Wales increased from 4.9% or 2.7 million people in 2011 to 6.5% or 3.9 million people of the total population in 2021. On the other hand, London is recorded as the area with the largest concentration of Muslims. According to ONS data, 15% of Londoners were Muslim in 2021. This figure increased by 12.6% from the previous count. This means that more than 1.3 million, out of a total of 8.6 million, Muslims live in London alone, wrote Arab News. Meanwhile, The Guardian reported that the area in England with the highest percentage of Muslim population in 2011 was Tower Hamlets. It was followed by Blackburn and Darwen at 35%, and Newham at 34.8% of the population identifying Islam as their faith. However, Tower Hamlets also saw a significant increase of 1.9% over the past 10 years. In 2021, 39.9% of the local population were Muslims. The Muslim population in England is increasing. However, many of the Muslim residents still inhabit underdeveloped areas in their respective regions. The ONS census recorded that 39% of Muslims in England and Wales still live in underdeveloped areas. Statistics even show a correlation between the severity of underdevelopment and the percentage of Muslims residing there. Overall, the data indicates that 61% of Muslims in England and Wales live in the 40% most deprived areas of the country. Only 4% of Muslims live in somewhat deprived areas in these regions. We are the second or third generation of Muslims. There are more of us here. However, we are still in this cycle of poverty and deprivation, said Zahra Mohammed, Secretary General of the Muslim Council of Britain, MCB, in an interview with The Guardian. The increase in the Muslim population, according to Mohammed, is driven by the young population born in these areas. However, the economic cycle revolves within these regions, causing intergenerational poverty to persist. I think it depends on the socio-economic conditions where people live and the economic opportunities available, she added. Historical evidence shows that the influence of Islam in England began in the 8th century. At that time, Offa, the king of Mercia, Anglo-Saxon, minted a coin with Islamic inscriptions, which were largely copies of coins issued by the Muslim ruler, Caliph al-Mansur. In the 16th century, Muslims from North Africa, the Middle East, and Central Asia were present in London, working in various roles, including diplomats, translators, merchants, and musicians. Islamic scholars, in the prologue to Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, 1386, noted that after the Crusades against Islam, England became friendly with several Islamic countries. Queen Elizabeth I, for example, asked the Ottoman Sultan for naval assistance against the Spanish Armada. The first recorded Englishman to become a Muslim was John Nelson, who converted in the 16th century. A 1641 document refers to the presence of Mahometans in London. There were also several people who converted to Islam during this period and in subsequent years. In 1649, the first English version of the Quran was written by Alexander Ross. In the 18th and 19th centuries, a number of English upper-class individuals converted to Islam, including Edward Montagu, the son of the ambassador to Turkey. The first large group of Muslims arrived in England about 300 years ago. They were sailors recruited in India to work for the East India Company. Therefore, it is not surprising that the first Muslim communities were found in port cities. Ship crews were also recruited and came to England, with many of them originating from Sylhet, now part of Bangladesh. Records show Sylhetis working in London restaurants as early as 1873. Some Muslim sailors decided to stay in England and left their ships without going through formal immigration procedures. The next wave of Muslim immigration to England followed the opening of the Suez Canal in 1869. The growing trade in England led to an increasing demand for workers in ports and on ships. Most of these immigrants came from Yemen, likely because Aden was a major refueling stop for ships between England and the Far East, and many sailors then settled in port cities such as Cardiff, Liverpool, South Shields, Hull, and London. Currently, there are approximately 70,000 to 80,000 Yemenis living in England, making them the largest Muslim group in the country. An example is the South Shields Yemeni community, which formed in the late 19th century when Yemenis working as stokers on steamships moved ashore and established boarding houses in dock areas. The development of Islam in various parts of the world has its own history, and England is no exception. Queen Elizabeth's country is predominantly Christian, but the Muslim community has been growing over time. The election of Sadiq Khan as the Mayor of London is proof that Islam is accepted in England. Even before him, many Muslim politicians have played roles on the British political stage. According to Britannica, 59% of the entire population of England are Christians, and about 4.4% are Muslims. The development of Islam in England, especially in the City of London, has reached its highest level, with hundreds of Sharia courts officially operating in London. At least 423 new mosques have been established in London, and 17% of old Christian churches have been converted into mosques. One such church is the Gatestone Institute's Hayat United Church, which was purchased by the Egyptian Muslim community to be converted into a mosque.